Hi everyone. Okay, so in this video we're going to be looking at 3 of these different scholastic books. One is called My Big World, Investigate Apples. The other one is called My Big World, Let's Start School. And then it's also My Big World, Ouch, It's Hot. Now my son Justice is 4 years old. Some of you may be a little bit younger, the same age, or a little bit older, and you may be familiar with Scholastic. When I was little, I enjoyed going to the Scholastic Book Fair and reading things from them. It's been around a long time, I think even older than what I am. So he reads these at home and at school. So we're going to be reading these tonight. These 3 has some activities inside, things like this. We're also going to focus on then we're going to switch over into our Bible study and our prayers. So after we do these 3, we're going to be doing some affirmations, speaking them together, and then we're going to read 1 page of the My Little Book of Dear God letters. Thanks for thinking of love, thoughts for every day. When we do get into our Bible studies, we're going to either be coming from this book, or we're going to be coming from the book that I showed you guys before, the Growing with Jesus book, and we'll be looking at this in our next Bible study, which will be next week, because I'm going to try to upload these videos once a week as I'm led. Well, not once a week, kind of bear with me guys, it's that time. Not once a week, but on a weekly basis. Okay, so let's start with this one. So let's take a look at what's going on. So this is My Big World with Clifford. Clifford is the big red dog, and we are investigating apples. So it says investigate apples. So if you look closely here, she has a magnifying glass and she's looking at this apple, and there are different parts of the apple. So we see the skin of the apple, the skin, which is this green part. Some apples are yellow, some apples are red. It depends on where they're grown. It depends on the season, right? So that's the skin. Then you have the stem, and then you have the flesh. So I'm going to lay it down and point to it. Here's the skin, here's the stem, and the inside of it is the flesh. And it says, use your eyes to learn about apples. Somebody say apples. What do you notice about this apple? And I want you to tell me, or your parent, what you notice about this apple that we're looking at. And what parts do you see? Right? We just identified them. We looked at the skin. We looked at the stem, and we looked at the flesh. Okay? So we're going to pretend that we also have a magnifying glass and we're investigating this apple. We're going to investigate apples, okay? And if you want to watch a video about apples, you can go to this link, www.scholastic.com/mybigworld. So now we're going to jump into this, and we're going to learn about apples. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to go to the rhyme time. Okay, so let's start with number 1. You can look, right? And when you look, you're looking with your eyes. It's visual, right? So you can look at an apple. What colors do you see? And I want you guys to either write down in your journals or in your papers what colors you see, or tell your parent or the person that you're watching this video with, aloud what colors you see. I see red, I see green, I see yellow. I'm not sure if this is like a black or dark brown or purple. Okay, so you can look at an apple. What colors do you see? And as we can tell, there's different types of apples. Some of them taste more sweeter than others. Some of them taste a little bit bitter than others, right? There's apples. We can eat apples, but there's also apple cider, right? There's apple juice. There's apple sauce. Do you happen to eat any of those things that have apples in it? Next, let's move on to number 2. You can touch. So with your hands, right? You can touch an apple. Just like they're touching this apple, they're holding this apple with their hands. Now we can't look at an apple and touch it with our eyes, but we can touch an apple with our hands, right? So you can touch an apple. Does it feel rough or smooth? And if you're able to do this in this exercise, or sometime, you know, when you all get a chance to actually get an apple from your kitchen, or when you go to the grocery store, touch the apple and let me know if it felt rough or if it felt smooth to you. Okay, that's number 2. Number 3, you can smell, like with your nose, right? You can smell an apple. And that's exactly what she's doing in this picture. She's smelling this apple. Does it smell sweet or stinky? So when you go and you touch that apple, I also want you to smell the apple and tell me what it smells like. Okay? Number 4, crunch, crunch, because he's biting into it, but you can hear, right? The crunch, crunch. You can hear an apple. Is the crunch loud or quiet? I think that it depends on the person that's biting it, how sharp their teeth are, and how hard they're biting it, right? Some people can bite into an apple and it's kind of quiet. You really can't hear it. And then others can bite into it and then it's pretty loud. Okay, so number 5, you can taste buds with your tongue, right? Your mouth, your tongue, right? We see his mouth is open and there's his tongue and she's looking like what's going on. But you can taste apple foods. Which would you want to taste? So here we have some apple juice, we have an apple, we have apple pie, we have apple sauce, we have apple muffin. Which of those are your favorite? So we're going to do a quick recap before we get into Clifford's rhyme time. So we can look at an apple, right? We can touch an apple. We can smell an apple. We can hear an apple. We can taste apple foods, right? And then the rhyme time. Who ate the apple from the apple tree? So we see this little boy. Someone tell me what color shirt he has on. He also has on a hat, and there's the apple tree. So we're not actual class, but we would do this like we were in the class setting, whether it's individually or in a group. You would insert your name. So put in your name, ate the apple from the apple tree, right? So the class is saying the child's name ate the apple from the apple tree. So I would say to you, your name, you ate the apple from the apple tree. And then you would say, who, me? And I would say, yes, you. And you would say, could it be? And then I would say, then who? And then it would be repeated so that everyone has a turn, right? And as far as a turn goes, you know, sharing is caring. When everyone has a turn, that's fairness. And it's just looking out for the interests of others and not just yourself, okay? And on the back, it has, I'll show you guys what me and my son worked on. He wrote his name. His name is Justice. This was one of his homework assignments. And it says, pip, pip, hooray. Pip is another word for apple seed. So when you open up the apple, you'll see like those seeds. Those are called pips. And he had to draw how many pips were in the apple. I kind of helped him a little bit. Okay, I'm going to pause the video and then we're going to get into Let's Start School. Okay, so now we're on Let's Start School. If you want to watch a video about starting school, you can go to this link, www.scholastic.com/mybigworld. So let's start school, and it says, to the tune of the farmer in the dell. What do we do in school? What do we do in school? This class is new for me and you. What do we do in school? What is the first thing you do when you arrive at school? Now, whether you're in private school, public school, or your home school, what is your routine when it comes to school and learning and education? We see that this little boy has on his outfit, his uniform, he has on his backpack. I'm sure his school supplies and everything that he needs is inside of his backpack, and he is ready to rock and roll. He's ready to learn. I also want you guys to kind of look here and tell me what else you see in the background. I'm going to pause the video so that you can tell your parent or guardian what else you see in the background. And I also want you guys to tell them if this little boy looks happy. Does he look sad? Does he look mad? Does he look disappointed? How does he look on this picture? Okay, so now we're going to look into our school day. Okay, so we're going to do 1 through 5. Number 1 says, we greet each other in the morning. We say hello. Do you do it too? Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, we have choice time. We share the class toys. Do you do it too? That's number 2. Number 3, we have circle time. We sit on the rug together. Do you do it too? So we can see the different activities that they do. And if you do it too, you can raise your hand or you can say, yeah, I do that too. Number 4, we have a snack. We eat and chat. Do you do it too? See, they have a snack, they're eating, they're chatting. Number 5, we pack up to go. We say, see you tomorrow. Do you do it too? Okay, so we're going to do a recap of the school day. So they greet each other in the morning. They say hello. They have choice time. They share the class toys. They have circle time. They sit on the rug together, and we see different things that they're doing. It looks like they're reading this book. Number 4, they have a snack. They eat and chat, so they have their snack. They also have something to drink, right? And they're talking, conversing amongst one another. And then number 5, they pack up to go, and they say, see you tomorrow, right? Because then it's going to begin a new day. And let's go here. Clifford's move and learn. Let's line up. Lining up is a routine we do at school. Try it. Hands on hips. Zip up lips. Stand in a row. Here we go. Right? And these are all the kids in the line that make up the classroom. And we're going to see what's on the back. Justice didn't do this one yet. Think big. Clean up blocks. We clean up our toys in school. Help clean up the blocks. And then you have to find and circle them. So there's one red block. So if you could point to where the red block is. Okay, point to where you see the red block. Do you see the red block? And then next there are 2 blue blocks. It says there's 2 blue blocks. So do you see any blue blocks? Point to the blue blocks. Do you see any blue blocks? Okay, and then there are 3 yellow blocks. Let's see if we see 3 of the yellow blocks. Do you see any yellow blocks? Did you point to them? Did we see another yellow block? Okay, and there are 4 green blocks. Let's see if we see any green blocks. Do you see any green blocks? Okay, guys, so that's going to be it for the Let's Start School. And the last one that we're going to do before we get into our affirmations and our prayer for tonight is ouch, it's hot. Ouch, it's hot. And if you want to watch a video about fire safety, you can go to www.scholastic.com/mybigworld. And it's ouch, it's hot. So this little girl is dressed up as a fire chief. Okay. And it says, finish this safety rhyme. Ready or not, do not touch it if it is what? Do not touch it if it is what? If this has an X on it, is it a thumbs up or a thumbs down? I think it's a thumbs down too. So we're not supposed to touch it if it's hot. We're not supposed to, run in the house. We're not supposed to run in the kitchen. We're not supposed to touch the stove or the microwave. We're not supposed to touch hot water. We're supposed to be safe. And we're supposed to listen to what the adults and guardians and parents tell us to do, because they're going to tell us to do the right things, right? So we can't touch it if it's hot, because if something is too hot and you touch it or I touch it, it can burn us and it could bring harm to us, and we don't want to do that. So we want to try to avoid that at all costs, right? So we don't want to touch it if it's hot. Okay? Is it safe to touch? So hot things can burn you. Ouch. And when something does burn you, it does make you want to say ouch, right? So we're going to give a big thumbs up if it is safe to touch. And then we're going to give it a boo or a thumbs down if it is not safe to touch. Okay? So let's start with this first picture. Candles can be hot. Is it safe to touch a candle? Would you give me, for number one, a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Let's go to number two. A ball is not hot. Is it safe to touch a ball? So here the little boy is touching this ball. The dog is looking. Would you give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Going to give a thumbs up, right? And for the first picture, that's going to be a thumbs down, right? So number three, an iron can be hot. Is it safe to touch an iron? Right. No, it's not safe to touch an iron. If it looks like it's hot or not, it's just safe not to touch it at all. It's better to be safe than sorry, right? Okay, so let's get into number four. Matches can start a fire. Fire is hot. Is it safe to touch matches? Thumbs what? Thumbs down, right? It's not safe to touch matches. Number five. Teddy bears are not hot. Is it safe to touch a teddy bear? And I think we have the answer to this. That's there. So that's a thumbs up, right? It is safe to touch a teddy bear. Okay, so Clifford's big idea. You can be safe. You see cookies on the stove. You want to try one. No grown-ups are around. Why shouldn't you go near the stove? And parents, I would like you to tell them why they should not go near the stove based off what we've just read in the Is It Safe to Touch? And you also could read here ideas to discuss with them what could happen if they go near the stove. Could a pan be hot even if it doesn't look hot? And why is it a good idea to ask a grown-up for help? Okay, and we're going to look at the back. Think big, firefighter gear. Firefighters are our friends. They come to help if there is a fire. Here's what a firefighter looks like dressed in special gear. Okay, so they have a mask. You can look at it. They have a mask. They have an air tank. They have an axe. They have gloves. They have a helmet, because you can't just go inside of a fire, any old ways. You can be burned. So you have to, dress appropriately like these firefighters. And we may not be able to dress like a firefighter, but this is why they're always, on the scene or on call to put out fires. And these are just some of their special gear that they have that's important for them. Air tank, they need that because they're going in the midst of all these fumes and it's hard to breathe, so this helps them. A mask helps them. An axe helps them to break through things that they probably couldn't break through because of that fire. They need gloves and a helmet. I'm sorry about the pauses, guys. And then there's the helmet. Okay. So I'm going to pause the video, guys. And then we're going to I'm going to switch over to our Dear God letters. Okay, so we're going to close with this, guys. Dear God, if I gave all my love away, could I have a refill? And this book is my little book of Dear God letters. Thanks for thinking of love, thoughts for every day. My son received this for his 4th birthday gift. He has a lot of books over there. I'm pointing, but you guys can't see. He has a lot of books and different things over there. So we often read these together. So, dear God, if I gave all my love away, could I have a refill? The great jelly jar only holds so much until your spoon clanks around inside and you have to settle for just peanut butter on your sandwich. But that's not the way it is with love. You can keep on pouring and spreading it all over the place, treating people with kindness from now till next November, and still have more than enough love left to spare. So go ahead, love somebody. And then the scripture is Proverbs 17:17. A friend loves at all times. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Forgive me for all of the pauses. I am a mom of a 4-year-old as well. So he's all over the place and it is time for bed. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and the Dear God. And for the affirmations as well, I do want you guys to release this out of your mouth. I am blessed. Parents, you can also say it along with your children. I am blessed. I am strong. I am happy. I am healthy. I am whole. I will also put some more affirmations below, just a few more in the description box. And I do want you guys to get accustomed to these Dear God prayers, the Bible studies that we're going to be doing soon, coming up next week, in the affirmations as well. Because the words that we speak have power. And when we speak life, when we speak blessings, we're going to see those things in our lives. Right? So you guys have a great night. Thanks for watching and God bless you.